Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namassami. So today is a seventh full day of meditation. And already we have discussed certain things about meditation practice, day-to-day practice, and to maintain the mindfulness, maintain the awareness in our day-to-day activities, and to manage our mind when it is sometimes difficult, when it is troubled by many thoughts. So all these things that we have discussed all these days so far are various tools or mechanisms to channelize our mind, our mental energy into something, into towards wisdom, towards the right understanding. Because right understanding is very necessary. We already once talked a little bit about right understanding and right thought, right intentions, right thought. Right understanding is when we understand correctly the nature of our mind, nature of our body. Like, for example, people say, this body is changing. For the sake of saying, people say like this. But then, when you actually see it in your meditation, yes, the body is changing. The mind is changing. Body is impermanent. The mind is impermanent. When you actually understand these things, then it is very easy to deal with outside and inside. What happens is we have this strong clinging to our own body, my body. It should be like this, it should not be like this. It should always be healthy, it should never be sick. It should look nice, it should not look bad. It should be strong, it should not be weak. Like this. We have all kinds of ideas or perceptions about our body, for example. And all these things are rooted in the sense wrong view that the body is ours, we are owning the body, there is an owner who owns this, and this owner can do whatever it wants, the body will remain as it is. But none of this is true. There is no owner here. For example, the body is just the body. If we say our body, for the sake of convention, we say. But then If it is our body, then we can say, I will not fall sick, I will not grow old, I will not die. My body, I am the owner. But then we cannot do such things. Even we can say, I will not feel hungry, I will not feel thirsty. One day I will not eat food, but I will not feel hungry, I will not feel thirsty. But we will feel hungry, thirsty. If we go in the hot weather, we say, this is my body, I will not feel hot. We will feel hot. If we go to the cold weather, then we will feel cold, simple. Because there is nobody to own, nobody to control this. This is just body, material phenomena working according to the law of nature and also according to the law of karma that it has done in the previous lives or maybe in this life also, what has been done. So according to these actions, according to the nature, according to the kind of food intake, according to the state of mind that we have, primarily these four conditions. The body changes because of these four conditions: food, nutriment that we take, it conditions the body and changes, make it healthy, make it strong, make it weak, make it sick, whatever. And then the environment, weather, where we live in, heat, cold, whatever, rain, this, that also changes the body. Then the state of mind, if we have a very high, very wholesome state of mind, then our body will feel lighter, the body how it is. And also the actions that we have done, good and bad. So these four things: the food, the weather or the environment, the state of mind, wholesome, unwholesome. In fact, long term, wholesome state of mind can make our body free from many sickness or free from many bodily discomfort. Long term, unwholesome state of mind can give rise to sickness or bigger bodily problems. If people have negative thoughts for a very long time, like days and months and years together, it will affect the body. Chitta Jarupa. So, and then the law of karma, actions that we have done, that conditions our body. So that's why we have got, each one of us got a body separate from each other. It functions separately from each other. The mechanism, though similar, but not same. Like I eat something, maybe I will digest. The same food another person eats, may not digest. Or I can manage some cold weather or this weather, but other person cannot. Other person can manage, I cannot manage, like this. No? So very precise, very precisely done, created by this karma. So this, depending on these conditions, the body is changing. And mind also changing. Mind changing depending on primarily two things: the level of our ignorance and the level of our wisdom. If the level of ignorance increases, then the thoughts of the mind will be of one type. Level of wisdom increases, thoughts will be of another type. So all our craving and clinging and wholesome states and unwholesome states, everything depends primarily on these two things: wisdom and ignorance. Wisdom is right understanding about impermanence, understanding about non-self, understanding about suffering. So when we understand it is the nature of any living being is to undergo suffering in this way or in that way. It is inevitable. It is the nature of all living beings to undergo change, not to be constant, not to be permanent or fixed. So then our understanding is of wise understanding. Then we understand correctly. But if we understand, oh, nothing will change, it will be like this, body will be like this, mind will be like, then our understanding is wrong. And depending on this wisdom or ignorance, automatically we will behave in a different way. If we believe, oh, this is my body and I can do anything, I will think anything, then people will do whatever they want. Even they will do wrong things, unwholesome things, and eventually get into bigger problems and suffering. If people were to understand this is not really my body or my mind, just a phenomena, just a material phenomena, mental phenomena, therefore changing all the time, and one should not use it for something wrong, then one will cultivate the right things and also cultivate the path to freedom. So it depends on ignorance and wisdom, only these two things primarily. Of course, there will be other things, wholesome factors, unwholesome factors, but all wholesome factors ultimately has is dependent on the wisdom. All unwholesome factors will ultimately dependent on ignorance. So when you understand like this, when our view is correct, at least to some extent it is correct, even if not 100%, at least 10%, 20%, if we have this type of understanding, correct understanding about ourselves, then same thing we see around us. Like, I am a human being, I have body and mind, and in certain way this body and mind is working. When I understand, then I can also understand other human beings that they also work in the same way. It is not different. Yeah, of course, there will be some variations, but the basic things will be similar. Then we can understand, oh, the way I have suffering, similarly, the other people also have suffering. The way I seek freedom from suffering or I seek happiness, the way similarly, the other way also, other beings also seek happiness or freedom from suffering. They may know, they may not know what is correct, what is actually freedom from suffering, but at least they are wishing, oh, may I not be unhappy, may I not suffer, like this. So the thing is, uh, then we will not be creating suffering either for ourselves or for other people. We will try to do the other way. Okay, okay, I have suffering, other beings have suffering. Let us not create suffering for other people. Let us also not create extra suffering. Already, whatever is here, I have to solve it, but I should not try to create more. That is wisdom. But if people don't have wisdom, they don't understand. They create suffering for others, they create suffering for themselves. So the whole purpose of practicing meditation is to develop this right understanding. It is very small, I'm saying. It, of course, it can be talked about for at length for a long time, but in very so our purpose to meditate is to understand these things correctly. Understand the body, understand the mind, understand the nature of this world, which is impermanent, unsatisfactory, and without a self, without an owner, without a soul, without essence, because it keeps on changing. So this is the type of understanding that we have to develop slowly, gradually. When we see something changing in the body or in the mind during our meditation, when our mind is peaceful, we can see a lot of changes happening. When we understand this change is happening, then we have some clarity. Oh, this is changing, body is changing, mind is changing. Then later on, if we encounter some phenomena, physical, mental, then we will also recognize this is also changing. So developing right understanding is very important. Having basic right understanding is fundamental for spiritual practice, that we already said on the second or third day, that having basic right understanding, very basic, good action, bad action, wholesome, unwholesome, wisdom, ignorance, this much is necessary to practice spiritual life. If people don't have this much, they will not practice spiritual life. They will not practice. They will say, yes, this is my life I've got, I want to do whatever I want to do, and I will die and it will finish, because that's what they believe. The majority of the people believe like this. But their belief is not true is another case. But then they believe like this, and when they believe like this, then they will do like this. You can't stop them. But the basic minimum right understanding is necessary to start. And when we start and practice, whether it is generosity, whether it is morality, whether it is meditation, whatever we do, we develop this right understanding to a higher level, where we can manage day to day things, where we can manage more than day to day things. I said, no, wisdom, basic, on the second day I said, on the basic day to day level, and wisdom to manage bigger things of life, and then wisdom strong enough to realize the liberation. So we have to start with day to day things, with this wisdom, and then not just day to day things, bigger issues of life also. I should do what I should do, really aim for, what I should avoid, what I should cultivate. Bigger issues, not just everyday survival. And then to the higher levels of wisdom and liberation. So, right understanding grows like this, from basic to more advanced to the final realization of liberation. So, we cannot directly go to the final stage. We have to go through this gradual process. It is all a gradual process, developing wisdom. So we have to start from the basic and keep going, keep going, keep going till it becomes good enough to achieve nibbana, liberation. So when we understand this, then when you meditate, your focus is clear. Why do you meditate? To develop wisdom. Why do you need wisdom? To be free from suffering. This should be clear. Why do you meditate? To do this, to do that, or there are other things. When you meditate, you may understand certain other things, or you may see certain other things, or you may realize certain other things, but they are not the goal of meditation. They are not the goal. Because goal of spiritual life is liberation, not just doing this, doing that. Ultimately, that is the goal of spiritual life. It may happen today, it may happen tomorrow, it may take long time or it may take short time, but we should aim like this. If we aim anything else, if we aim anything else, I will do this, then I will do that, thereafter I will do that, then you will not be able to develop these wisdom that I just talked about. Because your focus is wrong. Your focus is on, instead of developing wisdom of anicca, you actually want something which is impermanent. This one I will do, and then this one I will do, then after that this one I will do. But when you keep a goal clear, yes, we have to understand everything is impermanent. Even if it is there with me for some time, I am able to use it, or I am with that person or this person, or I am able to take advantage of it, but it may eventually go away. So then you are clear. As long as you as it is with you, you are able to use it wisely. When it goes away, then also you have no suffering. Just like you have a car. You have a car, you know the car is impermanent. Doesn't mean anything bad. Yes, you use the car to go, to travel, to do your work, whatever is necessary. But you also know car will break down. So when it is there, you use it wisely. When it breaks down, you acknowledge, yes, it had to break down. It's okay. So this is what right understanding can do to us. It makes us be at ease at the present moment, be at ease when things also changes. And we should aim for this practically. When you say spiritual life, spiritual life means a life dedicated for liberation, freedom from birth and death, and freedom from suffering. Anything less than this, it will not be a spiritual life. It will somehow be this and that. Not perfect spiritual life. Because then we will only do compromise. Okay, I can do this much. Sometimes I can tell truth, sometimes I can tell a little lies. It's okay. So then there is no chance. But when you are aiming for liberation, then we know we have to speak the truth. If I make a mistake and am not able to speak the truth sometimes, next time, or if I intentionally tell a lie, I should try to avoid next time. This is not something I should do regularly. This is not something I should encourage myself to do or enjoy to do. This is something I should not be doing. That clarity is necessary. Because people enjoy their defilements, greed, hatred, ignorance. When it comes, people don't say, oh, this is so bad, I should not. People say, okay, a little bit is not so bad. Little bit of this and that is not so bad. So this is how our mind, one time we say it's okay, and then second time we say it's okay, and million times, one time, two time, no problem. But when you say million times, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, then our mind become conditioned. So even bigger defilements also, bigger pollutants of the mind also, we say it's okay. We're creating a tendency, either in the right way or in the wrong way. But when we say it's not okay, and second time also say it's not okay, eventually we acknowledge this is not okay. No, can't do, sorry. Today or tomorrow you can stop. So it's all about doing things in the right way. So when we say meditation, say bhavana, comprehensive mental development, all this comes within the bhavana. Comprehensive development of mind, not just sitting meditation or walking meditation. Much more than these: mindfulness and awareness and practice and virtue and generosity and right understanding and everything. So all this comes within bhavana, right effort. Either we can make effort to, to do more and more unwholesome, or we can make effort to stop the unwholesome tendencies of the mind and try to replace it with wholesome. So that's right effort. So bhavana, overall comprehensive mental development, means this. And this is what the Buddha had advised people to do. If they wish to be liberated, this is what the Buddha said. Practice bhavana. Don't practice just meditation. Practice sitting meditation, practice walking meditation, but make it comprehensive, make it well-rounded. From all sides it should work, so that whatever you do becomes strong, really strong, to take you to liberation. So this much we offer as Dhamma talk today. So now you can ask questions.